Alright friends, inside this video topic, we'll continue all about the basics concept of React application, and in this video topic, we'll cover the concept that is what is component, why we create component, what is the use of component, what is the process to create component. Additionally, we'll discuss the concept of props in component. So all these things we'll discuss inside this video topic. Let's go back to browser. So inside last video, we understood all about the working principle of files and folders of React application. Now this time, we'll understand all about the basics concept of component. Let's go back to folder structure. Now here, we'll discuss our first basic question, that what are components? So let me discuss. Components are those files inside React application. By the help of that, we can create application sections, and those sections can be reused inside application structure. So to understand this example, let's open a new tab here. So for example, I am creating a website. Inside that website, I have some common sections. For example, like top header. Inside top header, as we know that also we have our navigation menu. Then here we have the common section where according to page, here we have some content section. Then after, here we have left sidebar, right sidebar, and then after we have a common footer. So we can see that inside this dummy website, here we have the common sections like top header, content section, left and right sidebar, and footer. Now, if you're talking about in terms of React application, so inside React application, we have some components, and the first component will be for top header, the second component either maybe for this navigation menu, the third component will be for the content section, fourth component will be for left sidebar, the next component will be for right sidebar, and the file component will be for footer. It means all these sections are the part of components inside React application. And now let's say that I have some pages like home page, about us page, and we have, let's say, services page. In the same way, we have, let's say, contact us page. So here we are not going to create these sections again and again for each pages. So what I will do, simply I will go inside this home page. According to the content of this page, I will only put the dynamic content inside this content section. If I talk about the common sections, so inside this home page, we have the common section like top header, including navigation menu, left sidebar and right sidebar, and the footer section. If we are talking about this about us page, so for this page, only we have the dynamic content for this content section. And the same pattern of set will go for the services and contact us. Overall, I mean to say that components are those files of React application where we can define our common sections, we can define our reusable sections so that it can be reused inside application structure. So right now, as we can see that here inside this application structure, here we have only a single component file that is called app.jsx. Now let's understand that what is the process to create a component file and what is the process to use inside this application. So what I will do, either we can create a component file inside this src folder directly as we have app.jsx, but it's better, I'll go and create one more folder. Let's call it as components. Inside this folder, then I'll create a file. Let's call it as home.jsx. Now this is our component file. Now here inside this file, it's a function home, and let's say that I want to return only for the time being only a static message. So here, let's say return parenthesis inside this h1 element. Let's say welcome home. Now this function is now ready. So what next? Simply let's export default and home. Now, once we write this export default home, now successfully, now this component can be reused inside any of the component file. For example, I want to use this home component inside this app.jsx. So first we have to import. So let's say import keyword home, like this we want to import what is home, and it is from like the current folder, like dot forward slash, then we have to go inside components folder, and here we have the function called home. Simply let's copy this component name, then I will go and let's remove for the time being all the content from this return statement. So here in between this fragment symbol, let's say angular bracket home and closing angular bracket. If I save these changes, let's go back to browser, and now we can see that welcome home. Now, this is the content which is coming from this home component. Now, this is the first syntax to define component file and the structure of component file. In the second way, let's go create one more component file and I will call it as site.jsx. And here, let's say const site by using arrow function here. Let's say return. I'll use fragment symbol and here in between this div tag, let's say h1 and I will call it as, let's say, welcome site. If I save these changes, let's go export default and here I will call it as site. So once we export, it means that this component now we can use inside app component and home component. So let's say that I want to use inside this app component. So simply import site from site from like current directory needs to go inside components folder and then we have to import call site. Let's copy this site component. Then I will go here, angular bracket site and closing angular bracket. Save these changes and now we can see that welcome site. Now, if we closely look about the code pattern of this like home component, so we can see that here we have the normal function, then we have export default home, but here we have a const site, like here we have variable, but this is an arrow function. Now, this is the function we are returning using this export default. Now, these are the two structures what basically we'll prefer while going through step by step into these code sections. And additionally, one most important thing is that if I go and let's remove this fragment symbol, it means all the content of this return statement. So here, if I write something, let's say div, and inside this div, let's say welcome site again. If I save these changes, let's go back to browser. So we can see that welcome site again. But here, let's say that I want to add one more paragraph here. So what I will do after this div, if I try to add, let's say, paragraph, so this is a normal paragraph. Now you can see that here we have red colored line. So if I save these changes, if I go here, and now you can see that here we have some error and that is of adjacent JSX element must be wrapped inside a enclosing tag or by means of using a JSX fragment. So this error simply means that if suppose we have two elements, what basically we are returning by the help of this return statements, so all this content will be wrapped either by using a div element, something like this. If I save these changes, now you can see that it is working. Let's go here. And now we can see that it is working. Or if I don't want to use this div tag, so instead of that div tag, simply I can use the fragment symbol, that is our empty curly pairs, and simply paste those two lines. So if I save these changes, if I go here, and now we can see that it is also working. So these are the syntax what basically as a beginner we have to keep in our mind so that no mistake will happen while creating any component, while returning any statement from these functions. Now let's discuss one more thing here. So for example, inside the site component, I want to return one more component. It means I want to attach one more thing here. So how to do that? So simply, if I go and let's say navigation, and I want to use the arrow function. So here, let's say inside this return fragment symbol, it means our angular brackets inside this h1 tag. Let's say welcome navigation. So we can see that here we have an arrow function. Now this function I want to use inside this layout. So how to use that? We have two options. Either we can create a separate component file and this code will be in that separate file, or if suppose I want to use directly inside the site component because this is like what we had used inside this app component. So it's better. I have used that function here. Let's copy this navigation and after this p tag, simply I can write something like called navigation. If I save these changes, and now we can see that welcome site again. This is our div tag, this is our paragraph, and this is the message which is coming from the h1 element of this navigation function. Now let's say that here we have some array of elements. So how to iterate over array of elements inside this JSX syntax? So simply, if I write, let's say const, let's say students equals to Here we have some spelling mistake. So let's say that I have some student names. Now I want to iterate, I want to print all these values inside this HTML. How to do that? So simply what I will do after this navigation, I will use the concept of map function. So here I want to use the concept of JavaScript so that I can iterate over each element of this array. So inside this HTML, if I want to use JavaScript simply by putting this curly pairs, it means that I want to use some expression. So here, students, let's copy this array variable students, I will use the concept of map function. Then I will go into it. I will read each single student. And then here the index value, it means the index value of each student. And here and one more thing, let's copy these two things. I'll wrap inside this parenthesis because I have to use the arrow function. Now what I will do, instead of this curly pairs, I will use li tag, and inside this li tag here, let's say that I want to print this value called Ajay, Sanjay, Dinesh and Rakesh. So each student will come inside a single student. So I want to print this value. So let's go inside this HTML. I want to use JavaScript expression. So curly pairs and single student. If I save these changes, if I go here, and now we can see that all those students into HTML. But inside our console, and now we can see that inside this console tab, here we have some warning that each child in a list should have a unique key prop. It means that what the values we try to print using this li tag. Now we want to add one more attribute here that is called key, and this key prop will help in re-render process of React application. So as we know that each item of this students array has a unique index like this value at the 0th index, first index, second index, third index. So what I will do, simply I will copy this index. Let's go here. I'll add a key attribute, and inside this curly brace, simply put index here. Save these changes. If I go and let's reload, and now we can see that here we have all these values, and additionally we don't have any errors inside this console tab. Now this is like how to create a component file and how to iterate over array elements by using this map function. Simply, let's say that we have some a simple object here. Let's say const, let's say employee, and inside this employee, here we have some name value. Name value of this employee. Also, we have some email value of that employee. Now, as we can see that this is a simplest object. We have two properties. So if I want to print these values inside HTML, so simply let's go here. So I want to print that value. So curly pairs employee dot name. If I save these changes, if I go here, and now we can see that here we have Sanjay Kumar, which is the name of this employee. Now, if I want to print the email value, simply employee dot email. And once we save these changes, let's press Ctrl S. Let's go back to browser. And now we can see that here we have the value that is email value of that employee. So successfully, here we have the basic idea that how to create a component file, how to export, and how to use inside any of the parent file. Now let's discuss one more concept inside this video topic, and that is what is prop. So prop stands for properties. So for example, if I want to pass some value, some properties from this app component, which is parent component, to these child components, for example, inside this home component, site component, so those values will be known as like properties for these components. For example, if I want to pass the name value, let's say here simple my name here, so this is the value, and here we have the prop name. So this is the value what we are passing inside this home component. Now I want to get this value inside this home component. So simple, let's go inside this function. Either we can use the concept simply, let's say props here. If I go and let's say console.log, and if I type let's say props, save these changes. So if I go, let's open console tab. And now we can see that inside this console tab, here we have an object. And inside this object, look at here, we have the name value. And this name value as a property because we have passed that value from this app component to this home component. And here I will discuss one more syntax like I want to get this value inside this home component. So this is not only the option, also I have one more option that is of destructure. So simply let's say that I want to get this value and before that let's pass one more prop value that is email and here it's the email value. I'll go then here and for the time being, if I go and print all those values, so we can see that now inside this console tab, here we have two properties inside this object that is name and email. Now here, this is the first syntax to get all those values inside this props variable. Now here, I want to get only the name value. So what I will do, destructure, let's say name, because this is the prop value what we have passed from here. Now if I go and print that, it's a name here, save these changes, and now we can see that inside this console tab, here we have only the name value because right now inside this syntax, we have the D structure like here. As we know that these two values are an object inside this component file. So only we are getting the name value from that object. Let's say that I want to get the email value. So here, email, if I go and write email, save these changes, and now we can see that here we have the email value. Now I want to get both the values like name and email. So name comma email and here it's a name comma email. And once we save these changes, let's go back to browser and now we can see that the name value and the email value. One more thing we can notice here that whenever if I save anything, it is printing two times. Let's try one more time. So here, if I go and write console.log, let's say hello, save that into this console. Now we can see say hello and say hello. Now the question is why two times we are getting inside this console tab. So to fix this, simple, let's go inside our main.jsx file and here instead of executing this app component into this strict mode, let's cut here. Let's remove this strict mode, save this file. If I go and now we can see that here we have the first console that is of name and email and here we have the second console that is of say hello. So successfully now here we have the complete concept that how to create the component files inside React application and how to pass the props value from parent component to child component. And one more thing before closing this video is that inside React application, we have two types of component that is functional based component and class based component. But let me tell you that if the application is built, so right now 90% of the website which is built inside React application is of functional based component. So inside this course, we'll follow the pattern of functional based component to create our headless store using React and using WooCommerce APIs. So as we can see that now we are moving step by step to complete this project. So for this interesting course, please hit the like button, like this video, subscribe to this channel. Now let's meet to our next amazing video. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching and have a great day.